Coming up on OTH, Raymond and I go over patch 11.5, LCS Week 5, and the spring Mid Season Showdown format. Also, we talk about how League would be like with seasonal metas, and what are the most important things to teach new players in 2021. Lastly, spoiler alert. That's it, we talk about how we feel about spoilers. We hope you enjoy episode 6 of On the Hunt. Welcome everybody to episode 6 of On the Hunt, a League of Legends podcast. I'm your co-host Chris, aka the wannabe gamer, because I like play video games, dude, but I don't really play video games. I just play League of Legends. And joining me on every episode is our other co-host, Raymond.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Raymund.
Raymundo.
I'm right with you, dude. I'm right with you on that, though. You play League of Legends. You say I'm a gamer. I play on my free time like 2 games of Bloons Tower Defense every week, and that's my variety gaming. But I'm a gamer.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, my Steam library is tiny. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have nothing.
Really?
I have like maybe 20 games,
Okay.
and like 15 of those are Humble Bundle.
Damn.
So are they really games?
Dude, then you're really a wannabe gamer. I'm the classic gamer where my Steam library, like back in high school and stuff, Steam sales, I'd buy all kinds of stuff. It's like, oh, it's such a good deal. And then I like just there's so many games in here that I've just literally never installed.
Yeah, dude. I have some games. Maybe I over exaggerated. I have some stuff, but like a lot of that stuff I'll never touch, or I'll never play it, or even like I'll never even finish it. Like I was playing that near Automata game, and I haven't finished it. It's been it's been 3 months since I picked up that game.
Damn.
And like I don't really care because like you play as different characters in that game, and when you don't play as 2B anymore, I don't care. So, but yeah,
that's fair.
That's woe is me. What's going on with you, man? What's up?
Not much, man. Like I said, actually, been vibing to some Bloons Tower Defense with the bros lately. But yeah, otherwise just going along. The Legends of Runeterra expansion came out last weekend. I've been messing with some Shurima decks. Been playing some League.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Actually, I have to confess to you, I have not played League in nearly a whole week. I haven't even touched the game. I played like maybe a couple Earth games yesterday. And speaking of which, I heard that Earth is going away tonight, unfortunately.
Tonight?
I
it's
read
like
that
at the end of the pass, because tonight is when the pass ends too, and I need to get I need to win or lose like one more game to get the last token mission.
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense then, why it would be today of like all days.
Yeah.
I read it on the internet, and maybe that's not the best place to get resourceful information.
Okay, but to be fair, where else are you going to hear information about like League of Legends? Like, come on.
From your local library, dude. That's where it comes from. But yeah, so I haven't played League of Legends because last week a friend of mine, a fan of the show actually, introduced me to TFT. And
Ooh.
Dude, I've been really deep in TFT.
Is this the first time you've like played TFT?
Yeah, dude, it's actually I have never played TFT before for like the year and a half that it's been out, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sounds right.
And so yeah, just like maybe like 2 weeks ago, I tried TFT for the first time. I thought it was stupid. And then last week, I just started playing it for some more. Got placed in Iron 2, my man.
Nice. Damn, dude. Okay.
Because I was terrible at that game. And then I've honestly played like 50 or 60 hours of that game in the last 6 days.
Damn. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's pure degen actually. And now I'm platinum. So I think I'm just a prodigy at the game.
Oh shit! I thought you were gonna stay like I've gotten all the way from Iron 2 to Bronze something, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm Silver 2 at least, so eat that, Chris. And then you hit me with the Platinum. Fuck.
Yeah, we're getting up there. I'm still learning a lot, but like I've been following a lot of guides when I play, and so that's what makes it really easy.
That's fair.
And the problem is that like I don't really learn. I'm starting to learn now that I'm trying to play without the guides. But yeah, it was I had a lot of hand holding at the start as well. And shout out to that guy Forest Hermit on my friends list.
Forest Hermit, damn, I've got him on my friends list. He's like,
you know him?
He's like I remember. I mean, I remember that he was at Davis. He was on the A team, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he was on the team. He played the same year that we played with all of the import students.
Right.
And then he played the second year with as mid laner as well on the main what I guess tier 1 team, I guess it would be called.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, the infamous Rise Cassiopeia player.
Yes. He's actually like high rated in TFT, right? Like
I looked it up the other day. I think he was challenger the first season or set, whatever they're called.
Right.
And then he was GM for like the next 3 or 4 sets. And then this one, he hasn't played that much. But yeah, shout outs to that guy because I sometimes see him on my friends list.
Yeah, I actually got a buddy of mine who's like Grandmaster in this set too, TFT.
It's pretty crazy, dude. Actually, I love how fast you can climb in that game if you're just like, if you're a wizard.
Yeah, if you're
Because
getting
you
the
can
dubs.
get like, you can get from like 60 to 90 LP off a win. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Honestly,
And you can
placements
also
in
lose.
TFT is the best rank experience because you just like if you get a dub, it's like 300 LP and you're like, yes, give it all to me.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what was addicting about it at first, is I was just getting like 90 LP for like second place or something. And I was like, ooh, that's a nice feeling for once. And honestly, dude, the reason why like I spammed it so much is because I played so many Earth games the week beforehand. Like before our last episode, I had played like 50 games of Earth, and that absolutely destroyed my wrists. And so I needed a break.
That's fair.
And TFT gave it to me, so shout outs to that.
All right, dude. Well, what else? What else you got? Anything? Should we move on? Get into the actual show?
Yeah, dude, let's hop right into patch 11.5 that dropped last week. And unfortunately, I didn't even look at the patch notes for a long time, and I actually looked at the TFT patch notes first. Feels bad.
Anyways, yeah, we really lost him.
Might start a TFT podcast, dude. You never know.
Oh shit.
But yeah, it dropped last week. Was there anything on there that caught your mind or caught your eye?
I think we talked about some of this stuff the week before when we looked at the preview. I think I'm looking now and I see the nerfs to Seraphine. I like those nerfs. Saw a little bit of a buff to Samira, try and keep her relevant still. I feel like she's really dropped out. The real, my pick of the week last week got a AP ratio buff on, Kiana W. So like that's what to look out for, guys.
Ooh, I do not like that.
Yeah, but I think those are probably the main ones. I think are like the Seraphine, like Udyr nerfs are nice too. Those kind of stuff. Not too many crazy things this patch besides the Senna changes. Yep.
Okay, then I think when I'm looking at these patch notes, what caught my eye is the Serpent's Fang thing that we talked about last week. I think the Stridebreaker change is interesting to increase the dash range. I don't care too much that the damage and the slow went down as long as the slow is there, like a meaningful amount. Right now it went from 60 to 40%, and that's still like a good amount to slow somebody by. And just increasing the range is pretty crazy actually, and the speed. So I'm pretty interested in that. I don't know. I actually don't play a lot of top lane these days. And then another change I was looking at was the Black Cleaver change. I like that they added back the old Phage move speed on it. So like you hit somebody, you get move speed like Triforce, I guess. So I really like that because I did not like that old passive that it had where like you have to put max stacks on somebody and to do like bonus damage. Like no, get out of here.
Yeah. That's true. I feel like that's one of those when I saw it like in preseason, it sounded like, damn, that's a cool like bruiser, like tank fantasy, like Hecarim gets in there, he's AoEing everybody with this missing health damage, and then just in real games, it never came to a situation where you wanted Black Cleaver for that.
Yeah, and then they also reduced the cost on Black Cleaver as well, so I'm gonna have to hit up some Reddit mathematicians to see what the value of the item is. But I'm pretty interested in the item now, even maybe making it on some AD carries or something, dude. Little Lucian action.
Ooh.
Some Black Cleaver Lucian.
Yeah, go back to the old days. The Yomu's Cleaver Lucian, Essence Reaver Black Cleaver.
Yeah, actually, yeah, maybe a little Lucidity boots on there to get that high ability haste.
Okay.
Let's give it a try. I'm totally down. Yeah, it's too bad Black Cleaver's not blue in color.
True. Yeah, that's the only downside to that build for sure.
And then I guess one last thing I'm like kind of interested in is that they nerfed Azir's W. Not by a lot, but I'm glad that champion's getting hit, even though I'm a dirty Azir player myself.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's actually I like that change. Like I don't know, 10 damage off Sand Soldiers. Like you look at it and it's like, wow, just 10 damage, not that much. But that's one of those things where like when they nerf Karthus Q by 5 damage, and it's like, wow, only 5 damage when this champ is insane giga broken. But they, Sand Soldiers attack like 18 times on the wave, and then now they just do 180 less damage if you do that. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, actually, I really enjoy small adjustments instead of big ones. So I like when they take off 10 damage per level or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard. It feels kind of bad for people who don't like if you don't hard read patch notes or like are thinking about this stuff, and then you get into games and somebody picks his ear and they're like, "Man, how did this game go so badly? I couldn't push the wave level 1 or something." It's like, yeah, dude, read the patch notes.
Should have read the patch notes, dude. It used to bother me when people didn't read patch notes, and then now that I'm an older man, who's much more mature.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I used to read patch notes religiously, and then there was a period where I just didn't read any for like 2 years, mostly because they were getting long as hell, and I was kind of bored and kind of falling out of league at that time. But yeah. And then like once you miss one, like I didn't want to catch up anymore. It's like homework, I guess.
It's kind of true, yeah.
Like I don't even, dude. I bought so many textbooks in college. Didn't read those fuckers.
Yeah,
most of them. So it feels bad.
I guess the problem was Low Heat would get out the belt whenever patch notes got dropped when we were playing, and then if we didn't read it then, then we'd be in for a world of hurt the next day. So once you got away from that environment, you were just like, please give me the sweet release. I don't have to read these things.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, dude. Actually, it's funny that you bring that up because, like, I remember that, like, when he told us how to, I guess when he was like, I don't want to say he was teaching us how to play, but when we would go over like replays and stuff, he would say like, oh, somebody needs to catch this wave, but then like, did you know that the minions don't work that way anymore, the way that they did back then? I think Double If and Sneaky were talking about this last weekend on the co-stream, where basically like at some point in the game, there was times where like, for some reason, the team who had a gold lead, their minions would be stronger. And so their minions would always push. And that's how you would get those like Reddit highlight clips of people clearing like 30 minions with one Lucian Q and stuff like that. But it sucks that I didn't read patch notes for a long time, but their minion behavior is not like that anymore. Well, and usually when you go to catch a side wave, you usually don't get more than like 10 minions at once.
Yeah, I think the change that you're referring to, they made it so it actually used to be before where I think minions were like always the same-ish, like damage wise, but they made it now like if you go into a game and you hover over any minions, they have two markers on their health bars like above it that are like percent damage dealt and percent damage taken. Like so they do more damage and are like take less damage from the enemy minions, I think. If you're ahead in like levels as a team, I think is what it is. So the team that's ahead always has like perma pushing, so it's harder for them to breeze, I think is what it is.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it was Medios and Double Lift talking about that on their on one of their co-streams. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I those things are really always hard. Like I still don't really understand like when waves like hold and push and all those just from like looking at them right away. But yeah, that's one of those things that when they talked about it, like it's pretty interesting to listen to. It's like
yeah, because it used to be that like if you took the first turret, like let's say bottom lane, and then you left that lane for a little bit and you pushed it all the way to the tier 2 turret, if you came back like 2 minutes later, there would be like a huge wave that would bounce back of like 15 plus minions. Yeah, it used to be that way, but I guess like in a way I kind of noticed that since I've been playing so much Galio, and like I always side lane after like 15 minutes. And so like it's weird that like just only when they said it that I really realized that like that's happening now, that you don't get fat waves like that anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's actually something that like I really learned about, and I like applied it to my game, the one game I played last week.
Hey, at least you took note. That's good. Way to go, dude.
This show. All right, dude, you ready to do our picks of the week?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, you or me first?
I'll take the lead this time because I don't know what you're picking and I'm worried that I might steal it. Well, I don't think I will. This one slightly inspired by this past patch. One of the other notes that we didn't mention is that the new bee skins came out, and I'm a big fan of the bee skins. So I got the Bee Zahar skin, and when I've been feeling mid, I played a few Bee Zahar games. That champ is pretty fun. I like that champ. You do a lot of damage. You go like Leandries, Rylai's still, and you just like I don't know. You're so oppressive with silences and suppresses, and nobody knows how to play against suppresses still. So you really like destroy a lot of these Zoomer champions trying to play like Camille and Zed or whatever, and you just lock them in place, kill them.
Lock him up, dude. I'm actually such an abuser of mid lane champs. Like, I play the champions where, like, your real skill level is masked by, like, the champion. So, like, I play Galio, and, like, there's so many things about mid lane that, like, Galio doesn't care about. And then I used to play Lissandra. Just, like, I just roam all day. I used to play Malzahar, play Twisted Fate. Like, all those champions, like, it don't care about, like,
yeah, that's true.
a lot of stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, I like that pick, dude. I like that pick. I like the skin. I like the attitude.
All right, what do you got for me? What's your pick?
I rock with it, dude. Actually, so in order to learn TFT, I use a lot of resources. And so one guy that I found on YouTube, his name is MaskOff758. And I really respect that kind of OG, like 2010 straight out of high school kind of name, username at least. And so yeah, that guy makes some pretty cool videos that are really informational about TFT, unfortunately. But I've spent a lot of time with the man and his voice. So that's going to be my pick of the week for this week.
Say his name one more time for me again. I need to give him a proper thank
Yes,
you.
yeah, so that's going to be MaskOff758 at youtube.com.
Matt, thank you for taking it, boy Chris, hand-holding him into the world of teamfight tactics.
Yes, sir. He actually does coach, but I'm a cheap Asian, so he'll never see me in his Discord server, unfortunately. Okay, now that we're all good with that, let's talk about some content that we usually go over. I did the usual stuff, the dive, the crackdown. Okay, here's the thing. I think one day, like maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, I was listening to the dive and I was like, these fuckers are talking about the same shit me and Raymund talk about. But like, because I think they record on like Tuesday morning and then they release it really fast.
Yeah.
Whereas we record on Monday night and then release it whenever I get to it. And so like we'll talk about this stuff Monday night and then I'll listen to the dive on Tuesday morning and it's like, God damn it, they beat us to all this stuff. So that's how I feel about the dive nowadays.
They're stealing our jobs.
Exactly, dude.
Those guys that have been doing this podcast for like 3.5 years are stealing our job.
Yeah, so the dive, the crackdown with I think Jesus. So not much to talk about since it was more of an EU episode, but I like those kind of episodes where they get a guest and they talk about his history.
Yeah.
Excited for the return of Summoning Insight. I was never like an OG fan, but I've been a fan of it for like the last 2 years or so. Is it 2 years? Like a year and a half or so. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, dude. I think for me, I've been listening. I don't know, same thing as usual for me. Watching or listening to Hotline League when I get the time. Last week they had Gil Hoto on, who's the Immortals head coach, a former like Origin head coach. It's pretty cool to listen to him. I like when they bring on same thing, like when they bring on guests. It was kind of cool to listen to like an EU personality, but talking about NA stuff, and like how his like perceived like differences and those kind of things about the region are. So it was a good perspective, especially around all like the import rule kind of stuff. So it was cool to listen to. And then also shout out to the Double Lift and Meteos co-stream, getting the other half of the Meteos sneaky onto the co-stream there.
Yeah, dude, I really enjoyed the Double F X Meteos collaboration. I think they had really good talks throughout the games and a lot of like, oh, when I was pro, I used to do this. What did you used to do? What did you do on your teams? And like, what was it like to play with this guy and this guy? Especially because like I kind of forgot that Meteos played for like 10 different teams in the last 5 years.
Yeah, right.
I think he said he played on Academy for one of those splits as well. I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
maybe on like FlyQuest or something like that.
He was on Optic Academy when they had Dardak. Like they kind of swapped back and forth on Optic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That was a wild team when they had fucking Meteos and Crown and like Arrow on that team. Like what the hell was going on Optic?
Oh, it was that split? What was that? 2019?
Shit, was Crown on? I don't remember, dude. I can never remember when Crown was anywhere in NA. It always just felt like he was underperforming on like some random NA team, and it was Optic or CLG, and it doesn't matter which.
Damn, feels bad. Hey, but you know what, dude? He's off to the moon now. So
that's true. Crown to the moon.
All right, let's get right into some LCS Week 5. I'll just get started right away with the standings. At first place, we've got Cloud9. I'll never do that again. We've got Cloud9 at 11-4, followed up by TSM and Dignitas, just one game behind at 10-5. And then another game behind is TL and 100 Thieves at 9-6 for 4th and 5th. And then lastly, we've got EG at 6 with 8 wins and 7 losses, with an honorable mention for IMT, who's just one game behind that. So for 1st through 7th, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 losses after 15 games each, 5 weeks of play. And next week, dude, we're going into Week 6, which is going to be the end of the spring split. How do you feel about these standings, dude?
I feel like looking at these standings, the 6 teams that are there, what you kind of expected, but how they've shaken up, I don't know. It's a little wild. Maybe, I guess, honorable mention to Dig. I'll say, I mean, obviously, I think the 6th place maybe was a toss-up between like Dig, CLG, maybe FlyQuest or Immortals as we headed in the season, but Dig has showed up, man. 10-5, 2nd place. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're really putting it in. I think they've had 2 undefeated weekends now where they've gone 3-0.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. I don't think a lot of teams have done that. I think it's just only C9, TSM, and Dignitas who've had at least one 3-0 weekend.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds right, actually. It's well, no, 100 Thieves also started the season 3-0, I think. But since
I
then,
think yeah, you're right. You're
but
right.
yeah, those I think you're right on those four. That sounds like 3-0. Yeah, because
Yeah,
actually,
those 4.
because I remember, did you see on Saturday Jensen's tweet where he tweeted out, "Glad to get our first 3-0 weekend after their Saturday match before they had to face CLG on Sunday."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And little did he know.
Little did he know. Fucking Jensen, jinxing it.
hmm But yeah, dude, I'm pretty excited. The standings are pretty close, and that makes me pretty hyped for playoffs. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There's still 1 week left.
That's true. I mean, I don't know if you're that far ahead, dude. Only 1 week, and I don't know. It seems like it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, dude. And speaking of which, we got a little circle of suck, so the kids are calling it these days, with the standings. So, like, in the top 6, we've got TSM has 2-0'd TL, but TL has 2-0'd C9, but Dignitas has 2-0'd TSM. So, like, who's better than anyone else? And then we do have some ties where, like, TSM and TN9 are 1-1. And then I think Dig has to play both TL and C9 next weekend. So we'll see how those pan out and see if they can maintain second or even go for first place there.
Yeah, I mean, it is actually pretty contentious on these like top 4 or 5 teams. I mean, I think before last week we would have looked at it and seen like C9, like regardless of if they had just lost to TL this weekend, maybe, and you look at C9 and it's like they've been pretty dominant, like in all their games against these other top teams. But now they've dropped a couple here and there. Like last weekend, I don't know, it wasn't good for them, and that's not a look that I'd want to be for them heading into playoffs. But I don't know, everybody else is kind of taking shots at each other. They had their highs, had their lows. It's interesting for sure.
Yeah, so I'll definitely be looking forward to this week of games. But before we get into that, let's talk about last week of week 5, where our Friday featured game of the match was going to be TSM versus Dignitas. You want to get started with this one, man?
I mean, sure, dude. I think I feel like, did we both call TSM on this? Because this was looking pretty TSM favored throughout the start of it, and then I don't know, a couple of dragons get away from them, couple fights go awry, and then suddenly, despite having a super fed PoE on Victor, you assume that's like an auto win every game. They threw a couple team fights, just kind of, I don't know, no respect for the enemy team given, and Dig whacked out with a win on this one. It was pretty exciting. I feel like from both teams, like pretty well played, I would have said. But yeah, Dig gets the win. Dig gets the 2-0 on the season, on the split.
Yeah, I really like this game. I like these kind of games where, like, even just for a casual viewer, you can see that, like, you can see that TSM has the gold lead, but Dignitas still has some good things going for them, and they can get the dragons stacked. Unfortunately, it ends in like a weird fight.
Yeah, that one was super weird.
I feel like if you were TSM, you definitely just look at that and you're like, man, how do we throw so hard and that sort of thing.
It seemed like such a good. I like even watching it as a fan. Like they started out and it's like, oh, maybe they don't catch these guys, but it's still a really good chunk, right? Like a great fight. And then the fight just keeps going a little bit, and you're like, oh, now everybody's here. Okay, it's still gonna be. And then suddenly, like 2 people are dead, and then you're getting chased out of your jungle, and then everybody's dead, and you're like, ah, shit, that's game.
Yeah, dude. I was actually really surprised that they ended off with that, but hats off to them. I'm pretty excited. And I do want to. It'd be pretty crazy if they end up finishing in first place next week.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with the way C9's played, honestly, it
Dude.
wouldn't be too surprising to see like C9 in like third place if TSM and Dig like both 3-0 could happen.
Yeah. Honestly, dude, it doesn't matter as long as you finish top 4, and we'll talk about that later because we'll go over the Mid Season Showdown format.
Sounds good.
And then for Saturday, our featured game was going to be C9 versus TL, where TL had won previously. And then in this game, C9 started off with a pretty good gold lead with Sven on Caitlyn. But unfortunately, Alfari's dick was just way too big this game.
Yeah.
And so TL walk away with the dub on this one, dude.
Yeah, this one, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think you hit it on the head. Alfari just Dick Nar all over C9's play. I think Perks is playing like cocky Perks maybe a little bit, maybe brainless Perks a little bit, getting into some of these situations, but Alfari definitely capitalized. Showed people why teams like to pick Nar.
I've actually been liking Perks on Cloud9 so far, even if he's like not super flashy, but I'm I'm thinking that like strategically, he must be adding a lot to the team, especially when you're working with new people. Well, he's played with Sven before, but you're mostly working with new people, and you've got a rookie top laner as well. So I'm sure there's a lot of things they need to iron out. And I think Fudge has been playing really solid lately as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, they like this weekend, a lot of teams just kind of played through Fudge, TBH, where Alfari got to get a good lead on him and then got a good solo kill near the end on him as well.
Yeah, I mean, even this game, it seemed like Alfari wasn't like hard stomping him. Like Fudge stayed pretty even. He was relevant for a long time until Alfari just decided to end the game kind of against everybody else. But it wasn't like, it wasn't like some games we see like with Niles where he's getting just smashed, or that I guess that we saw from Fudge like lock in.
Yeah, actually, some of the Nars went pretty sicko mode this weekend, now that I think about it. But anyways, that's getting a little off topic. TL got the win there. I actually really like this game. A pretty good back and forth. I honestly, I like most games where one team has a gold lead and then they lose. Those usually turn out to be good games, unless it was like a severe Baron throw or something.
Unless it was like a CLG game.
Yeah, true. Well, even then, it's just... CLG games give you that like nervous anxiety of like, fuck, dude, how are they gonna
lose? Yeah. You can watch it and you can be like, okay, this has to be a win. There's no way this could be a loss. I've never seen even like silver players throw a lead like this, and then and then they do it.
Man, dude, they didn't get first blood. How are they gonna lose? Yeah, dude. And then moving on to our final featured game from week 5 is going to be TSM versus C9, where again, dude, they have Sven on Caitlyn. He gets the good gold lead. And they dick down Spica so hard with the late invade.
Yeah. Spica gets 4 buffs. That's...
Yeah, where they 4 buff Spica, and he's down like 40 or 50 CS to Blabber.
He's died like 3 times in a row. Actually, I want to pull up. I want to try and find like right when they dove top and see how far behind Spica was, because he was like level 3 and like 50 CS down already at fucking like 6 minutes into the game.
Yeah, dude, it was actually so insane how far ahead Blabber was of Spica, and the way that they put him down of like stealing all his buffs, making sure he didn't get the bot scuttle either, and then killing him there as well. Like, that was so crazy. But that game was also such a good example of like, when you're down, you can still help your teammates get a fatter lead than the other person has on you.
Yeah, true.
Like you said, like on the top dive, like when they did that to Fudge, I think he was saying in his post-game interview with Double Lift that like he doesn't have TP, he's gonna lose 3 waves. It sucks that they traded 1-for-1 there, but like that dive was so good in favor of TSM that it nearly negated the lead that Blabber had over Spica.
Yeah, and Spica was already, I mean, when you're 0-2 as a jungler, you're like, man, I don't give a fuck, like, what happens to me now? I'm already dick. Like, if I can get Huni something here, if I can get, Sword Art the successful roam, like, that's better for you guys than it matters for me. I'm already out of this one.
Yeah, for sure. So, I really enjoyed this game, and then, in fact, I think Lost gets a pentakill this game as well, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was actually one of the best, like, handed off pentas in in a professional, where they get one guy, like, CC'd, and you get the long range Kaisa W just for the KO. Gotta respect it.
Yeah, that was pretty satisfying. But yeah, I really enjoyed that game, and I would recommend you go watch it if you haven't seen it already. Actually, I gotta ask you, dude, do you like spoilers, or do you care for spoilers for anything, for LCS or movies, TV shows?
I think it depends, kind of, because I don't know. I feel like for sports, usually I'd rather know about what happened, but I don't know. I'm kind of weird about sports. Like I'm definitely like a numbers guy. Like I don't know. I just get a hard on for like seeing people with good score lines and shit, and not like sometimes I just don't care about the game. I was like, yeah, but dude, how many 3-pointers did he hit that last game? So like I'm cool with spoilers there. And if it's a good game, like I can go back and watch it. But I'm not. I'd rather know the outcome for those. But like stuff like movies and TV shows, I think I'd rather watch it than have it spoiled.
Okay, I can respect that. I think it depends for me as well. I would say like 80 to 85% of the time I don't care about spoilers. For anything. If you spoil me on a TV show, like sometimes if you spoil me on a TV show, that makes me want to watch it more because I want to know what leads up to that kind of thing.
That's kind
if you
of true.
spoiled the ending or something. If you spoiled a plot twist, then I guess that matters. But if you spoil the ending, that doesn't matter as much to me because I still want to know what happens up to that.
I'm actually with you there. I'll give a quick on that. I'll give a quick example. I didn't watch Game of Thrones until like before the last season. I remember, I forget what it was. It was like at the end of a party, and I'm hanging out with people, and it's like I don't know why people even turned it on, but we turned on like the last two episodes of like Game of Thrones season 7, I think. And I was just giving people shit that like, because I'd never watched it, I didn't give a shit. So I was bugging people about like, oh my god, what are they doing? This is such a stupid show. Like, why would someone do that? And then just and you know, and so I watched like the season, like up till then, like the season finale, right? Like it's the hypest stuff of like the whole show. And then I'm like, yeah, then like during that next summer, like me and my roommates watched through the whole show. Like afterwards, like yeah, no, that was good. I liked it.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. And then as for LCS or any league game for that pro game for that matter, I usually don't care. But then sometimes if I do care, then I know not to look at Reddit or Twitter and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal for me. And then and I in a way you can control it. So if it really matters, then I just won't look at that stuff. Like if I'm about to watch it, then I don't want to know.
Right.
Well, it's better if I don't know. Like most of the time, like you're better off not being spoiled. But also, like I don't care that much. Yeah. All right, enough with that side tangent. Okay, so we're done with LCS Week 5. Let's look forward to LCS Week 6, the final 3 games for each team to see how they finish out the spring season. I'm really looking forward to this one. And coming up for our featured match for Friday, we've got TL versus Dignitas, where TL previously took the win from them. But right now, Dignitas is in 2nd place and TL is in tied for 4th and 5th place. So this, in a weird way, like I wouldn't have predicted that this is going to be such an important game in terms of the standings and for Dignitas to be ahead of them at this point in time, but here we are. This is the world we're in, dude, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this match.
Yeah, I think this should be good. I don't know about you. I feel like the last few weeks, I keep expecting this to be the week that like Dignitas just starts doing badly, right? Like you think like, oh, they're 6-3 or something. It's like they can't be that good. Like it's somehow just early season. I don't know. Dardoks get wins on cheese junglers, and then the next week they still do good. So by this point, I feel like I'm kind of done like waiting for Dig to lose, and I'm feeling like this is just gonna be a good game. Like these are top 6 teams.
Yeah, dude. In respect to Afromu, when, he's led this team, or, I assume at least, and then he took the 100 Thieves team to 1st place in the regular season back in 2018 as well, when they first started up. So he's had some really good signs of life throughout his career in the LCS. So I really like that. And I'm low-key rooting for him, but to be honest, dude, I still don't know. Like, if you asked me to name who's on Dignitas, I couldn't tell you.
Dude, come on. How do you watch the Double of Videos co-stream and not know about Neo, man? Come on.
Okay, I know everybody but the top laner. Like, who the top laner is, it escapes me right now. I have no clue.
Do you want to guess, or are we just gonna...
Okay, let me guess. So bottom is Neo Afromu, jungle is Dardoch, mid is Saligo, I think, and then top laner... It's gonna be an NA person. It's not NA. Solo.
I mean, NA. Dignitas is the McDonald's team, right? Like, it has to be NA.
Imagine if they had red in their logo as well. That would just be GG. Dude, I'm serious. I don't know.
Come on, dude. It's fake God. It's fake God.
You're right. I should have asked for like the first letter hint. A phone a friend there.
Yeah, you could have gotten something. Is anybody else?
Dang, dude.
It's all right.
So
we got
bad.
there.
But I just don't care about that team, dude. I don't think so they've played 15 games, right? I've maybe watched like 2 or 3 Dignitas games so far.
And they've been the ones where they played like TSM and C9.
Yeah, so unfortunately I haven't given them the respect or the chance, but maybe I should, dude. Maybe I should put some respect on the Dig name.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I feel like at this point they've earned it. I'm gonna be honest.
They've earned it for sure. No matter, I think they have a pretty tough weekend. Even if they don't do well this weekend, I respect it. I respect what they've done so far. I'm kind of rooting for them, but not really at the same time.
So you're saying it's TL? TL's gonna take the Friday game?
That's the problem, dude. I don't know. Dignitas is so unreadable for me. But TL did win last time. I don't remember how that game went. But TL have been so up and down sometimes.
Yeah, that's
Especially
true.
since they lost to CLG. It's like, what is that team's skill level? Why are they so inconsistent? Core JJ, what are you doing, man?
You said those first two things. I wasn't sure you were talking about TL or CLG.
Yeah, true. Shit, dude. I don't know. I don't know who I would go with.
All right, I'll just say it. I'm going Dig. Money's on Dig.
Okay,
I'm all in.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say no reasoning. I'll just go with Dig. Dang, dude, that's so weird. What world do we live in?
You had told me 6 months ago that Dignitas is going to beat TL, or Dignitas could be favored to beat TL and beat them in regular standings this season. Oof. The split, I guess.
I would say you're trolling.
I
Dude.
would say you're trolling.
I would say you're one of those psychos on Hotline League.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Okay, moving on to our featured Saturday game of Week 6. We've got another Dignitas game, this time against Cloud9. And again, Dignitas lost to them previously in the split, so C9 has the 1-0 victory over them. And I think this one's also tough to call, dude, after seeing C9's previous two games where they lost last Saturday and last Sunday. After having a gold lead, it's like they're already locked in for playoffs, so, do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true. I think Sven did have a tweet about that, saying, I'm pretty sure he said he was going to int.
Oh, did he really say something like time to int or something like that?
Yeah, I think he said locked for playoffs, time to int.
I can respect that, dude. Well, honestly, I don't recall him inting, but Perks is up there sometimes. But yeah, so this one's tough to call for me as well because, you just look at one team who had a 3-0 weekend and the other team didn't. So it's like, man, what is going on? And then I guess they're playing on a different patch this week, so that might shake some things up.
That's true.
But yeah, I think this one's tough to call. I think C9 could win if they played serious, like 100% balls to the wall serious.
Yeah.
But I think because, the players on Dignitas they would love to finish first or second place for a lot of those guys like Fake God, Sligo, and Neo.
Yeah.
For the first time having like a full split in LCS, I suppose. So yeah, I think this game could also kind of go coin flip, honestly, just depending on how the way that C9 looks at this game, since they already have a 1-1 or they already have the game lead over Dignitas. So even if they lost this one, it could still go to like oh dude, I didn't even realize that like if Dignitas wins this game, there could be like tiebreakers at the end of Sunday. Now that I think about it. So yeah, this match is really important for implications on who could finish first or second, or even third, I suppose, in the standings. And so, I'm just going to go with Dignitas on this one because now that I think about it, I think the players could be really hungry. I think they're going to do their research, whereas C9 might not care as much, especially if they're not going to they probably won't end up playing Dignitas in like the first round of playoffs or something.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what where C9's level of care is at for this match, even though it is pretty important.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I feel like if I had to guess, I'm thinking about the C9 team. I'm thinking right now that Sven is like, all right, guys. I know I said time to int on Twitter, but like, shape the fuck up. We're not gonna go 0-5 to end the split. So looking, I don't know. For C9, this is like, I don't know. They play CLG on Friday and they play IMT on Saturday or on Sunday. I mean, and so this Dig game is like, if you look at just standings, and not recent form on like how good CLG has been or like that IMT has taken top teams. This is kind of like their only important game. I feel like this is the one I would be, if you're C9 and you're only prepping for one game this week, it's this game. So I think it's gonna be C9
for sure. I can respect that pick.
You could think then again, it could be that you're C9 and you do the same thing that you did against TSM, and you're like, yeah, okay, we got our jungler 40 CS and 3 levels up at 6 minutes. That was our whole plan, and then it doesn't matter the prep when you just let that slip away because you can't play your draft. So who knows? Who knows, really?
Yeah, you know what? That made a lot of hype for me. I'm really looking forward to this game now. To finish out the weekend, our featured game of Sunday is going to be 100 Thieves versus TL, where 100 Thieves got the victory over TL last time. But I'm not so hot on 100 Thieves right now, especially after the Ryoma swap. Well, even when they were playing with Demonte for the week or two before that, I wasn't really feeling them anymore. They didn't seem the same team that they were for like the first couple weeks of LCS and the end of lock-in. So I'm not really sure how I feel about this team or where their skill level is at, because they started playing a little bit like EG. They're kind of flippy, to be honest.
Yeah, I think what I said about Dig earlier, where I was like, this is the team. Like, I each week I expect them to start doing good, or start doing badly. I feel like 100 Thieves, they started out 3-0, and even I feel like week one, I thought like this is a shaky 3-0. This is like probably the worst like 3-0 team I've seen in LCS, and then they've just stayed shaky. I like you keep thinking like, oh, they're good, oh, they look good in lock in. Like someday has this good team now, and I'm waiting for the week that we can say, okay, 100 Thieves is good now, and I just feel like they're not ever amounting to that.
Yeah, dude, that's how I feel too. And so for this game, even though 100 Thieves won the last time that these two teams matched up, I'm going to go with TL on this one. I think that on their good days, TL is really solid. And on their, if 100 Thieves has a good day, I would think that TL would overtake them anyways.
Yeah, yeah, man. I think I'm gonna say the same. I don't know. There's nothing in my head right now that I can say, yeah, okay, Ryoma's gonna come out and demolish Jensen. Like, I don't know. Like it just seems like, yeah, TL is too like consistent. They're all like really strong players individually. Maybe Closer has a pop off game and Santorin just picks Garner and doesn't get to control the game like he usually wants to or something, but I think it's TL for this week too.
For sure, dude. Okay, and then I look forward to if there's any. I look forward to any match-breaking tiebreaker match games at the end of Sunday. I assume that's when they're going to take place, because the LCS Mid-Season Showdown is going to start right away. There's not going to be any break in between, and so the whole spring playoffs is going to take from March 20th up to April 11th. So that's about 3 weeks. And it's going to be, first off, I'm not too sure what the schedule is, but how the games are going to go is that whoever finishes first place is going to play fourth place in the upper bracket, so to speak, and then second place will play third place, and then the fifth seed will play whoever loses between first and fourth place, while sixth seed will play whoever loses between second and third. And so if you finish fifth or sixth in the standings, you only get to lose once. You only get to lose one match in the mid-season showdown, whereas if you finish 1 through 4th, it's essentially a double elimination bracket where you can lose twice. It's not exactly double elimination like they do in like Smash Bros and most fighting games, where they do something called a bracket reset at the end. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna do that here.
Yeah, I don't think
so. I'm not going to say there's no incentive, but there's at least no reward in a way for going undefeated, because if you make it to the finals undefeated, if you lose the finals, then you just lose. You don't get like a second chance or anything. Whereas if you lose on the way to the finals, you get a second chance, so to speak. So that's how the mid-season showdown is going to work out. How do you feel about this kind of like faux double elim kind of feel, especially after TSM's kind of miracle run last year? Are you a fan of like the gauntlet kind of thing, of like teams dropping down and having to play all these teams to make it the whole way and do like the miracle run kind of thing?
Yeah, I think I like it. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the lower bracket Miracle Run stuff is really cool. And I think that I don't know. I think for the teams that are like the first seed like potential players, like those are it's almost relieving. I think as a fan, even though upsets are cool, like if you see like Cloud9 lose in the first round of playoffs, it's like, damn, that sucks. That if it's like it could be a 5 game series and it could be a sick 5 game series, but then now you don't get to see Cloud9 play the rest of the way. And
Yeah.
so I think
And that has actually happened so much to C9, where
yeah.
like they just lose to someone in the semis, and that's it. They don't get to play anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I like that part of it. You get to see, at least for those teams that you assume are like the better teams, you get to see more games out of them. And you get that chance to have really hype runs. I don't know, the bracket reset stuff doesn't really bug me that much. I mean, we saw it last season, like when TSM made the run back and FlyQuest like only lost that one series to TSM at the end.
Right. And how they would do it is, if it was a real double elimination, then they would play another best of 5 series right after that.
Yeah.
And that's just never gonna happen in League of
Yeah,
Legends.
there's no way. Like even if you did it on back-to-back days, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of, it's almost like it's just not the same like as you get with I don't know, like in fighting games. I think it's like it's infeasible to play them back to back, and I think giving a day between like throws off, it's like weird on like prep stuff and that kind of thing too. You don't want to schedule, like, how do you schedule that? Like, do they play on Sunday and then maybe you get the actual finals on Monday? Like, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. That's not a big deal to me. I think just like being able to play less games, you might be able to hide more strats. You might be able to just get more like stress-free practice time, whatever it is. I think that's cool.
Awesome, dude. So yeah, we're coming to the end of the spring season, and then the playoffs are going to start off. I think one last thing I have to say is that like conceptually, I like best of series, but a lot of the time, I don't know if I really want to watch three or possibly more games of EG versus 100 Thieves or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I usually like conceptually, I like it, and I like to see that like the post match threads of like, okay, who got the victory, and then I like it that teams get to play more than one team instead of just getting knocked out right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the format.
Do you
I
know
hope the teams are going to do well.
Do you know in this, is it like for the upper bracket kind of? Do they play do they like reseed against the teams from the lower bracket, or do they play each other right away for like a bid into finals?
Can you say that again?
So like we have the first two matches are first versus fourth, second versus third, right?
Right.
And so we know who the losers play, but do the winners play each other? Like, could you get first versus second as the second game in the upper bracket, and then the winner that goes to finals? Or is it like the loser bracket happens, and then the top two teams like pick from those people, or it's double elim? So like first and second play each other, and winner goes to finals, and then second place plays the winner of like the loser four. That makes sense.
Right. I think it's predetermined. I don't think at any point you get to pick between who you get to play, but there is side selection given to the team who more recently lost, if that makes sense.
So it's so like if seeds just won out, right? You'd see like if the one seed won and the two seed won, they'd play the next weekend though, and then could drop down to a losers bracket. It's just like straight like double elim kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that Dignitas is locked in as well.
Are they? Would you go Dig? I guess because they have the tiebreaker against TSM. Maybe they're 2-0.
Okay. Yeah, so whoever loses in round 2 of the upper bracket, they get side selection in that match in the lower bracket. Yeah.
Okay.
But they don't get to pick, I guess.
Right. I was thinking because they've done that before. Like for example, in summer playoffs where the first and second seed had buys, they didn't play like predetermined like who won in the first round. They had the first seed pick of the two winners who they wanted to play.
Yeah, and that was because like first and second place both got buys,
right?
And the difference between those two is first place gets to pick who they play.
Right.
Okay, and then I guess the last thing we have to talk about is a lot of AD carriers getting pentakills this year in the LCS. So we've had 4 turtle pentakills, and all of them are by
4
AD
turtle
carries.
pentakills. Turtle has 4?
I misspoke, dude. 4 total. 4 turtle, 4 total. Dude, that's a tongue twister. I can't do it.
Freudian slip, dude.
I can't do it, dude. Anyway, so yeah, Wild Turtle has 2 pentakills, and then one of them was this previous weekend, and then alongside him, Lost and Neo both got a pentakill as well. So that's pretty cool. I really like pentakills in the LCS.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's always hype to see. I mean, the sad thing about this is that, you see ADCs get all these pentas, so you know ADC is a broken role. And so I know that it's going to get nerfed soon. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad for sure. Or at least, actually, I guess what I meant to say about this topic is, how do you feel about Collector? Because other than Kaisa, I don't really like that item.
Yeah, I think it's a bait. I don't know. I think it's good. I think it's good when you're against a lot of like squishy people, like obviously, right? But I think like even with Kaisa, I think a lot of people autopilot like the buy, like you see it and it's like, oh, you get extra gold. Oh, it's a free, you get free kills. Like it's so good. I think especially there's a lot of ADs where like that last tick usually doesn't matter. Like if you could get the kill, you're gonna get the kill. Like 5% HP isn't like you're not hitting them always to get them to under 5%. I don't know. I think you're better off buying stuff like Lord Dom's, stuff like an attack speed, like a Zeal item or something like that as your second a lot of the time. But it's like obviously just so feels good to get lethality early and still have a crit item.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about it the most. I care more about the build path and the components of Collector. I don't care about the Collector passive.
Yeah.
But I like that if you're looking for lethality in your build for second item, and like the game looks like it can accommodate that and over Lord Doms or something like that, then I think that's cool. You have that choice, and like honestly, not a lot of roles have that much choice.
Yeah. That's true.
Personally, I don't care for Collector itself, but I think it's pretty cool that like if you want lethality, then you could grab it and you can like start blowing people up even if you're playing like, I don't know why I thought about Xayah. There's no way Xayah is blowing anybody up. But let's say more like MF or something like that.
Yeah. It is nice for those champs like the MFs, like the Jins who have lethality builds, and you like before it was like I either go lethality and I feel like I do damage with abilities, or I go crit and I don't, but now you can go crit because that's still the better scaling. You can get some lethality early and still feel good about your power curve. That is nice.
Yeah, that's a good point. And dang, I guess I can't wait until Varus comes back in the meta then, because that's gonna be he's gonna have really cool build paths.
Yeah, that's true. Except Varus in the meta, I don't know if I agree with you, but if I can't wait, I think I can wait on that one.
Actually, dude, that's actually something I want to like have a talk about. Maybe right now is not a good time, but like basically I was thinking that like, what if League of Legends was like had like seasonal metas, so to speak, and so like at some point in the year, Azir is gonna be good, Corki's gonna be good, or Ezreal or Varus. Like at certain parts of the year, for I guess pro games is where it matters the most. Like pro players need to exhibit that they can play a wide range of champions, and so at some point in the year, tanks are going to be good, and it'd be sick if you had a tank player on your team. And then at some point of the year, Elise, Kha'Zix are going to be really good, and so you're going to enjoy playing the game at that time. Like, I don't know if you want to get into it now, but like, what would you think about that? Because personally, I like it when Ezreal is good.
Yeah.
And so I can't wait until the part of the year where he's going to be good. And it feels like that it's something that recurs. Like at some point in the year, Ezreal is going to be good, and I can't wait for that point or patch.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. I think Azael's someone who's kind of talked about like this topic before. I'm pretty sure if you go back on his Twitter, like not too long ago, he's put up posts like kind of on this vein. I think his idea or something that he mentioned was like doing like every patch or every couple patches, you just like global ban like the top 10 or top 20 presence champions from the last patch. And like yeah, I mean, you just can't pick it, right? Like we go like last week when we went over the top 10 presents, like this week you don't get to pick Renekton or Tristana. Like you don't have to ban it. It's just the champ pool is suddenly 20 champs less. And I think that's maybe that's I think there's problems with like that implementation of it, but I do think it's interesting, like trying to have like some way to make sure that all the champs that you like come back into the meta. But I just don't know a good way to do it, and I feel like doing like the guiding like doing something seasonal like sounds kind of wonky. I don't know how you do that, because it feels like you might shoehorn like some champs in by having to buff them like kind of outrageously or something. But it could be interesting. I just feel like there's probably more often than not more problems to it than just like having the game most of the time, I would think.
Yeah, dude. I was actually like, I'm pretty sure D-Lift probably talked about this. It's actually really come to mind for me lately, is that like there's so much info that you need to know in League of Legends now, and then like when I'm trying to like coach my friend how to play, sometimes it's like there's so many things I want to tell you and that you need to know about for us to just do well in lane, let alone the rest of the game. And I just don't know where to start. Well, I do know where to start. It's like the starting point for everyone.
Yeah, I do know where to start, but like I don't have time to sit you down after the next game and pull up a PowerPoint that we go over for an hour. So like, let's just keep going and ending away our lane.
Yeah, like there's a couple things. Like I think I was listening to the Crackdown, and Thorn was saying something like, when I watch Whippo's stream, sometimes he'll explain something, but then he might like brush it away, and like maybe he'll meme about it. But I think what really happens is that Whippo has an answer, and he can give an answer for a decision that he made in the game.
Yeah.
But the explanation for that is way longer than that decision would ever like take. The explanation for that is way longer. It could be longer than the whole game, to be frank.
Right.
And so like the explanation is so long that like there's no reason to give it on stream, at least.
Yeah.
And so that's what Thorn was saying about that. And so I kind of feel that way, where like, shit, I don't know where I was going with this. But anyways, what I was going to say is the starting point for everybody is to like just to know what every champion does and to play it all of them once.
It's to pick like 2 champs and know like what you do on those 2 champs.
Right. Well, that's what I mean, is that like know your champions, but then like also know what other champions do.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you how to freeze a lane and that sort of thing. That's what I meant to go, is like, yeah, that's the starting point, and then I'll tell you like, okay, and then and somewhere in between there, okay, practice your CS, okay, know all your builds by heart, know when you like, of course, like there's that stuff thrown in between.
Know when to go collector and when to go Lord Downs. Yeah.
But I would say that's like one of the most important things to start off with. And then I'll tell you how to like manipulate the minions at level 1, or some dog shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's like that's the thing. Like that's what's so cool about League is that it's such a
Is that cool
complex
though? I
system.
don't even know.
I don't know. I think it is because I mean I don't know. Like if it's not the same as like it's not the same as like Mario Kart where you play like 2 hours of Mario Kart and once you learn how to drift and like hold items behind you, like you've learned the whole game, right? And it's just like how good do you take corners or like use your
Right.
mushrooms, right? Like
Okay.
it's not as simple as that.
There's so many people are gonna flame you now.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just,
Sorry.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
I mean, 1v1v Mario
I
Kart,
get
and
it.
then
I get
let's
it though.
talk. Yeah. Okay. But I think that I think that because there's so many complexities to League, and it's not all down one path. Like if the game was just like somehow like CSing was incredibly hard, right? And you just like the only way you got better at League is if you got better at CSing. Like even if it took years to get to perfect CS, that's not fun to progress in, right? Because like you only like the game if you like CSing. But if you like macro or you like, playing jungle or you like top lane 1v1s and knowing like all your matchup knowledge, like those are so many different ways for so many different people to go in League. And then you can get better at each one, like at your own rate. And it's not like they're all independent of each other. It's like if you get better at the top lane 1v1 and knowing your matchups, that's something that like if you go back to playing AD carry, even though before you were just focused on like CSing and maybe auto spacing or something, like now you kind of keep in mind like, oh, what cooldowns do they have up kind of thing. Like those kind of skills transfer between each other and you get better at League, like no matter what you get better at individually. So I think that's what's really cool.
That was beautifully put, dude.
Thank you.
I guess that is a cool part about League. I just get so sad with like the information overload and burden that like can scare away new players. And honestly,
Yeah.
I'm surprised like that League of Legends even gets new players in the 2020s decade. Like
Yeah.
there's just there's so much. There's too much and there's too much.
That's
sometimes.
true. But then it's also surprising to me that, like people can play for like 6 years and still be like hard stuck bronze, Like it's such a like that's what like there's so many different things to be good at. You find the right skill bracket and I don't know, you it's still fun.
That's so funny, dude. Okay, like actually, I remember one time I was like doing some against the TOS stuff and I was playing on my friend's account and he was silver and I remember playing Riven against this silver Renekton and Mr. Silver Renekton, I always think about you because that guy was really fucking good on Renekton and then like shit at the game elsewhere.
Yeah.
But like that gave me respect for silver players who have like 1,500 games in ranked, but they're like silver 2 or something like that.
Right.
And it's just like they're good at something,
but
but
just
like
not everything.
but there's a lot holding them back.
Yeah.
And then so like you can have good mechanics as a silver player. I'm not saying that all silver players have bad mechanics, but
right.
like that Renekton, he showed me the light. But unfortunately it was like a shitty like closet light.
Right. But he had it, dude. And was it right on how to play Renekton versus Riven?
Yeah, dude. Okay, and that's going to be it for episode 6 of On the Hunt, a League of Legends podcast. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on the service that you are listening to us on, if you haven't already subscribed. We'd appreciate it if you also give us a rating or hit the like button to show us some support. You can find us on YouTube, as well as your podcast player of choice, from Apple Podcasts to Spotify and so forth. We'll see you all next week for another episode of On the Hunt.
Thanks everyone for listening.
Hell yeah.